I want to answer one of the questions that you guys have asked. By the way, if you have more questions, please feel free to ask me anything about end of time. Inshallah, I will give you the best answer possible from Quran and Sahih Hadith. So again, if you have question, keep asking those questions. This is a platform where I want to address all of your questions. A lot of people have question about the Mahdi. They have a question about the Malhama. They have question about Dajjal. They have question about the Yahudi who will follow him. They have question about what will happen when Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus alayhi salam, will be here. I do not want you to miss out. Any question, you have question about the Ottoman Empire, you have question about the Babylonian kings who expelled the Yahudi, you have question about the Roman Empire that expelled the Yahudi, any question about Yahudi, any question about the Christian, any question about anything about the end of time, inshallah ask me, because inshallah I give you answer not from made up stories but from Sahih Hadith and also from the Quran, inshallah. And I do not make up my own mind or give you my own opinion. I give you what is true, inshallah, what is haqq. Okay, so one person, they asked this question. I'm going to show you the question so that inshallah you can see for yourself. This is the question. Okay, so they asked this question about end of time, and this person, she said, Rose, I'm not sure if you're a sister or a brother. I think you are a sister, but anyways, the question was, I have a question in the hadith about fighting the Romans and conquering Constantinople. The Prophet said, I know the color of their horses. Can this mean that they're going to be nuclear war both before and when the Mahdi comes? Okay, and because another hadith says that the war will be very intense and the birds will drop dead. Okay, so can this mean that there is going to be both before and when the Mahdi comes? Okay, so I made it very, very clear in the past, dear brothers and sisters. If you are following me, you have heard me saying it, that when the Mahdi comes, we will not have the world, especially the technology that we have today. In other words, the end of time will take place once this civilization that we know today, the internet, social media, TV, satellite, tanks, fighter jet, everything will become obsolete, absolutely out of order. Okay, you see out of order sign, all of these things will be out of order, because when you take these things out of the equation, then you have a much clearer picture as to what exactly will happen when the Mahdi is here. So the answer to your question, the first question that you asked, whether there will be a nuclear war before the Mahdi or after the Mahdi, the answer is there will be a nuclear war, as I said in the past, before the Mahdi. And after that, the Mahdi, the Dajjal will appear, that we have talked about in this channel. Now, when he comes, what will happen when the Mahdi comes? Because another hadith said the birds will drop dead. Okay, so the birds will drop dead. This is a quotation where it is not a hadith. Okay, this is what it said. The malhama will be so severe. It is going to be so severe that and the casualties and the area that it will cover is going to be so vast, is so big, is so huge, that when a bird will take off, it will keep flying, try to land on some piece of land. It's just looking down and is trying to find a place where it can land. But because the vastness of this place, because the malhama will be huge, malhamatul kubra, that's what we are talking about here, okay? Some other scholars, they say malhamatul uzma. So this bird it keep flying and flying, but there is no place to land, because this land is all filled with what? Corpses, like dead bodies. I mean, malhama, like thousands and thousands of people just, lying down dead. So there is no place. The place is so polluted that there is no place to land. So the bird will eventually have to drop down dead. That's what it means. But that is again not a hadith. I personally did not come across any hadith like that. But there is a saying. Okay, there is a saying by some of the historians, some of the people who made comment on the Malhamatul Kubra, that this is how vast, this is how big, this is how humongous it will be. But again, this is not a hadith. So this is the question that this person asked about the Romans conquering the Constantinople. Okay, I know the color of their horses. Now this is a hadith that was not mentioned in one piece. The Prophet ﷺ said about these horsemen, okay, MEN, horsemen, that these horsemen, they will not be the original or the main part of the Muslim army. The horsemen that he's referring to, I will mention this hadith in a separate video. I'll quote the hadith. The horsemen he is referring to, afdalu, they're the best, in the sense that these horsemen, there are only 10 of them, and they are not from the main part, from the main body of the Muslim army. Rather, they are scouts. You know what is a scout? The scout is basically a group, a contingent that is heading ahead of the main army in order to secure the main army, the body of the main army. So these scouts, they are like a security for the main Muslim army. Okay, so they are going ahead, 10 of them, and Rasulullah SAW said that about these 10, he's not talking about the one who is in the Muslim army. He's talking about these 10 scouts who are so brave, because they are going to who? They are going to find out if Dajjal is in Medina. Okay, this is why their virtue is so huge, because they are not going to fight human being. Now they are going to find out if Dajjal is in Medina. So Rasulullah said they are so virtuous, these 10 horsemen, they are so great in the sight of Allah Azza wa Jal, that Rasulullah, he said, I even know their name, the color of their horses. So this is a huge thing. So this is where the hadith came from. But again, that will happen when Dajjal will appear, and we will see the end of time. Now, few question I have. When do you think the world will go back to what it once was? After WW3. Brother Gloomy Gaming, I answered that question, inshallah. Ali Tiger, when Dajjal comes, what year? Dajjal will come the same year when the Constantinople will be conquered by the Muslims. Al-Quds will be at the hand of the Muslims. The Muslims will be victorious everywhere. At that time, the Dajjal will appear. And I made it very, very clear. I will actually quote the hadith in the next video, inshallah, when Dajjal will come at what year. So this is the year. If you see these things are happening, what is Malhama, bro? Malhama is Armageddon. In Christianity, they call it Armageddon, means war, great war. Thoughts on a room, your final thoughts on why they are, why they are. Why they are. Okay, Ali, thoughts on a room. My thoughts are very, very clear, brother Ali. I said this before. Room is part of the northern territory of Africa, Central Asia, Western Asia, and they are also in Europe. They are also in other continents. In other words, Room is not one simple geography that we can say this is Room. Room is now all scattered. Okay, so they are everywhere. They are in Africa, they are in Europe, they are in Asia, they are everywhere. So my thought is that when the Armageddon, okay, will take place, all of these people will become one. They will say, forget about our past history, forget about our differences, let's get united against the Muslim. This is when the Malhamatul Kubra will take place. So this is what Rum means. You ask me, Russia is part of Rum? Of course, absolutely, no doubt. They are part of Rome, but they are not, you know, the Roman. Like when we say, okay, this is the army, we do not say Russia is the army of the Roman. No, we don't say that, because in the book of Ezekiel is a book in Christianity. They even believe that this part of the world is actually Gog and Magog. Okay, so how can you say this is the Roman army? Because when you have contradictory claim that actually even the Christian, they don't believe Russia is the only Roman. They in fact see Russia in a negative way. I hope that is clear. Russia is not the Roman. They will become part of the Roman army at the end of time when the Malham will take place, but they are not the only Roman. They have a lot of other. It includes a lot of other countries. Can you speak about Al-Khorasani? Is it a person or is it a place? Khorasan is a place, or you're talking about Khorasan? We know Khorasan is a significant place. It's a place where the army of the Mahdi will come, and this army will actually go to Al-Baitul Maqdis. Okay, this army will not stop until it will go to Baitul Maqdis. It will liberate Jerusalem, and in this army will be the Mahdi. Okay, and the reason we have a lot of reason to believe in this is because if you take a look at the army from this, I believe from the northern Afghanistan, they were never conquered by anyone. Okay, the British, the Soviet Union, the Americans, everyone tried, but none of them were able to conquer this land. And we have that is one of the reasons why we believe that this land cannot be conquered by anyone, by any non-Muslim. Brother, how close are we to WW3? It will all play out after we find out China has overtaken the world economy. Okay, China in the next 5-10 years, they will become the biggest economy. Then we will find out because at that time there will be reactions from US. They will freak out. They will say no, we don't want China. And then we will find out also the state of Israel, how they will react. Would they take China, or would they accept China as the ruling country of the world, or ruling state? And then I have a comment here. Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum assalam. So dear brothers and sisters, I wanted to make sure that you understand these things. They're very, very clear. There is no doubt for any one of us to disagree or to get confused. As I said, I do not agree with Imran Hussein when Imran Hussein said that Russia is the Roman mentioned in the Quran, that they will win. Ba'du, the ayat that the lillahi al-amru min qablu wa min ba'du, that ayat is not referring to the Romans from Surah Rum. I don't agree with it. But at the same time, I said there is no reason for me to disagree completely, because it's a matter of the lillahi al-amr. It depends on Allah Azza wa Jal. But from my understanding, from my finding, I don't agree with it. But again, Allahu Alam, if somebody says otherwise, I would not have any problem. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. Leave your comment. Let me know more if you have any more question. I'm here, inshallah, to give you all the answers. Any question, inshallah, about end of time. Assalamu